It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, we have done it. We have made it to another Monday, getting ready to start a brand new week. Great thing about the Remember When with Uncle John show, however, is we got our same great sponsors that we have all the time, including Sherwin-Williams House Paint, 315 Jefferson Street. 836-8125 is the number to call to get Greg Bradshaw and his staff to help you out with that home project.
And we got ProMed Ambulance, 1-800-634-0436. Serving Randolph, Lawrence, Ashley, Union, Dallas, and Calhoun County.
Also, get the folks over at the Shopper's Guide to help you out with all your printing needs. If you need posters, you need cards, you need something all fancy and looking good like, Shopper's Guide can help you out, man. Be sure and tell all your friends that they can listen to us on all the social media platforms like Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, YouTube. You can find Remember When with Uncle John. Be sure to include the with Uncle John part of it there. And you can find us everywhere, man. No problem. You can take us with us wherever you go. And last but certainly not least, the Prescott Raceway. Got races going on each and every week. 5121 Highway 53 East. You can check them out at PrescottRaceway.net. Give them a call at 904-5952 or just stop by the Napa store in Magnolia. Talk to Jackie Lewis. He'll point you in the right direction. Tell him Kelly Blair and Uncle John sent you.
Absolutely.
All right, John. Well, what do you think about it here on a Monday? You know, I had a request the other night. I was hanging out in the bar. You ever been to a bar just hanging out? Somebody walks up to you?
No, I've never done that.
Okay, I understand. Somebody did it to me. And I was hanging out at a local bar right over there. Well, it's the VFW in East Camden. I don't mind telling people, love the people out there at the VFW. And they said, you guys got to quit saying absolutely. Every other word is absolutely. I've never seen somebody use the word absolutely in my whole life. Y'all got to stop using absolutely. And I looked at her as nice as I could and said, ma'am, we will absolutely work on that.
Absolutely.
There you go. So what do you want to talk about on the
Well,
Monday?
you know, usually I yield the sports subjects to you, the sports topics.
Yep.
But we got to talk about the baseball world lost a great one last week.
They sure did.
Vin Scully.
All right. Yep.
You know, I'm not, which we talk about this all the time, I'm not much of a sports guy. But, the Brooklyn Dodgers, later, though, of course, Los Angeles Dodgers, hold I don't know how to say it, but, the Brooklyn Dodgers, when they were still in Brooklyn, they kind of represented, the blue-collar folks,
Absolutely.
The working guy, most of them in those days, they played baseball during, the ball season, and then they had jobs, in the off season. Vin Scully started broadcasting for them in 1950.
Wow.
1950.
That's going back a minute.
Which meant that he was broadcasting when they won the World Series in 1955.
Nice.
He was broadcasting when Don Larson of the Yankees pitched the perfect game in the World Series in 1956, maybe?
Yep. That was incredible, too. I mean, I saw something, about how many no-hitters and perfect games and all that he called. It was just absolutely incredible.
And then, of course, he moved to California in 58 when they moved to Chavez Ravine, and worked all the way up until 2016, calling ball games, And he passed away last week at age 94. 67 seasons with the Dodgers.
So, when we say a generational talent, we're not just whistling Dixie here. I mean, he absolutely spanned generations. He was your grandfather's announcer, the most famous one out there, and then for our generation as well.
I mean, but just and I say I'm not a big sports fan, but anytime I could watch the Dodgers and hear him call the game, I would take time to do it.
Oh, absolutely. They because they got him to do a lot of World Series on network TV, even though the Dodgers weren't playing, just because again of the talent and everything. And a lot of people probably recognize him from that Kevin Costner movie.
That's right.
He was in that one, too,
Yep.
for love of the game.
And that was my good friend Perry Johnson's favorite movie. Every time I see it on TV, I think about Mr. Perry. But
that's a good movie.
But,
Of course, a knothead like me, I watched it about 9 times before I realized, they're not just talking about baseball.
67 seasons. Think about it. 67 seasons calling baseball.
All the games that he saw, all the Hall of Fame players.
Yeah.
Really is incredible.
And they won't come along like that anymore, and going to miss him. Of course, we've been missing him since 2016 when he retired, but
sure.
Still, knowing that he's not there anymore.
Absolutely. That's what you're talking about. That's what it's all about right there. That's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here on a Monday, but we're just getting started. We'll be right here, same bat time, same bat channel, the rest of the week. We'll see you tomorrow, John.
Absolutely. And by the way, I want to invite everybody out to the Chittister Baptist Church tonight. We have our once-a-month men's fellowship meeting. We have a good meal. We have a great speaker. It starts at 6:30. We always have a good message, but tonight the message is coming from Uncle John.
Hey, look at there.
So I want everybody to come out, have a good meal, fellowship with the guys, and get ready to hear a good tale from Uncle John, and it just might even hit home with you. Everybody welcome, all the men welcome. Chittister Baptist Church tonight at 6:30. Hope to see you there.
All right, if you're speaking, I'm there.
Absolutely.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.